The Cross Heaven dungeon is hard, let me just tell you that. Now, there's a lot of rewards attached to it, as well as events which are live right now. Is it worth actually spending your time, energy, and just resources into building teams and just grinding through all the stages here on the dungeon? Let's find out. Before we go any further, please go ahead and check out Aptoide if you haven't done so yet. It's going to be allowing you to get yourself massive amounts of bonuses whenever buying anything in Raid Shadow Legends through Aptoide. Right, so just as you are buying a pack normally and regularly, you're going to be able to get a massive bonus that can go from extra 10% of your amount of money you're spending all the way up to extra 35% of that much money. And the good thing about this whole thing is that once you have enough of the bonuses, you're going to be able to use them to make the payments for you instead of actually using your real money, right? So you are saving up in further purchases in the future. We'll talk more about this whole thing at the end of the video. For now, let's keep going. Real quick and right away, let's just check out the pinpoint set, right? The gear that you're getting from this, that's the main reason to actually farm this dungeon, right? I only got a few pieces down here, as you can see, and let's just go through what the set actually does, right? So if you want to join my team in Raid Shadow Legends, click the link in the description to get a free Narma, as well as Anax, Uugo, and Mausoleum Mage as you progress through the game. Here's what you need to do. First of all, log out of Plarium Play on PC and uninstall. Then click the link in the description and register a brand new email. Launch Raid and complete the tutorial, and then go to your inbox and claim your first champ. Don't miss out on your chance to get a fresh start in Raid with a free Narma and 3 epic champs. Click on my link right now. Right away, just by equipping one piece, that's already 20 accuracy, 2 pieces is 10 speed, then you're gonna be getting more accuracy, and then as you get more and more and more, you're gonna be getting more accuracy, more speed, as well as the intercept stacks, right? After you are gonna be getting 9 pieces, which is extremely hard to do, you're gonna be getting 4 intercept stacks at the start of each round. As you can see right here, the description for what an intercept stack is going to be doing is massive, but just to summarize it, it's going to be impeding or avoiding any crowd control debuff to be applied onto you. So it's going to be blocking it, and once you do block it, it's going to be removing 1 stack of the intercept debuff. It is great in PvP, it's going to be very good in specific situations in PvE. It is actually quite decent overall. There is a fairly decent chance of getting an intercept piece of gear from any of the stages, as you can see as you're going up and up and up. The chances of getting better gear increase as per natural, but then you will eventually just be able to roll into the pinpoint set. It's just a matter of luck. I've been getting, I think I only got 3 pieces, right? So I don't know how many runs I've done. I've gotten until like stage 16. So yeah, the chances are not the greatest. I've of course been selling the lower tier stuff, but you can almost expect 1 guaranteed, if not guaranteed for sure, from every run. Of course, if you're doing it with the super rates, which is going to be giving you double the loot, right? So you're going to be getting quite a fair amount of pinpoint pieces of gear, even though there is other artifact sets that can be dropping from this, right? So the set itself, it is quite just like what you would expect out of like a perception set. It's going to be giving you that accuracy and that speed. And let me tell you, that kind of gear is literally the best thing you can possibly have as an entry-level player, newer account, like mid-game-ish even. You are going to be needing so much of that gear for literally every single champion. Like, let me tell you, who doesn't need accuracy and speed, right? Like, literally everybody needs that. So getting a lot of these pieces of gear is going to be such a good idea, right? Of course, on top of that, you're going to be able to get all the stuff you're going to be getting from just the regular piece of gear, right? So if you roll a very good stats on it, that's always going to be great, but it's just going to be so much more accuracy if you're able to assemble at least like 7 pieces. It's 20 more accuracy that you would otherwise be getting with an accuracy, or rather a perception set of gear, excuse me, and then with only 5 pieces, it would already be 8% more speed, or rather, never mind, it's actually 15%, never mind, what is it? Actually, if you are having only 5% per 2 piece of a perception, and you are getting 20% speed from 5 pieces, right? So it is 15% more speed out of having 4 or actually 5 pieces of the pinpoint set than if you are using a single 2 piece of the accuracy or perception set, right? So yes, stacking up a lot of perception would potentially give you, what is it? For 3 sets of perception, actually 120 accuracy and 15% speed, but you will probably you're going to be getting a lot more accuracy out of using perception sets, but it's going to be a lot more speed, right? So it depends on what you really are aiming for here. You're going to be getting a lot of that speed, which otherwise would be a lot harder to come by, or you just rather get more accuracy, and therefore you would go for a perception set of gear. Now, if you value the intercept stacks, then that changes the whole thing, right? With only 6 pieces, 2 intercept stacks on that champion each round is going to be making it a lot tougher to go through, right? It's going to be a lot better in arena in particular, where there's a lot of crowd control, stuns, sleeps, freezes, etc. But depending on the boss you're fighting, it's going to be a lot harder to actually get you frozen or stunned, and like, let's say, the dragon or the spider or the ice golem, whatever. So you are going to be having a much tankier champion. I think it is definitely worth it farming it just for the gear alone. There is a surprisingly low number of quests that actually make you actually go to kill the event dungeon. There is like one over here where you need to be using Tholin Foulbeard and clearing stage 10 of the event dungeon, but I couldn't really find much else about the event dungeon, really. Everything else is just play the game in other avenues, so it's really not a big deal if you are going to be going for the coalition event rewards themselves, right? You're going to be getting a lot more points from doing other things. There might be some repeat quests coming around, but you're not really encouraged to farm the event dungeon that much for the coalition event. Now, there is other things. For example, there is right now the tournament to go ahead and farm Kurosa. Now, this event is also lasting for quite a little while, and it's all now still going to be lasting for 2 more days and a half. I think it's been over a week since this has been up, and I haven't really barely been farming this, let's be honest. Like, it's been a long time there just standing, and I haven't really put the time into it, right? Because I really didn't value the gear that much, and I was busy with the fusion events otherwise, right? But you're still gonna be getting the extra rewards out of participating into it, just for the sake of obviously probably getting the demon points here for the Tholin Foulbeard event, which is currently running right now, the Demon Slayer event. So if you're going for that, you're probably going to be doing this anyways. But overall, it's just a little bit of an extra reason to go ahead and farm a little bit of Kurosa. You're going to be getting those points simply for the gear you're dropping. So if you're doing something like, I don't know, stage 15, you're going to be already be getting a decent amount of gear, because it's like from 4 stars all the way up to 6 stars. So you're going to be able to get, I don't know, like 30 points per run, something like that, 20 something, 30 points per run for this event. So it's going to be costing quite some energy and time to get it done. But I mean, you're going to be getting at least some stuff from the gold chest if you do get there. It is decent rewards. You're probably going to be getting some multi-battle attempts, let's be honest. But anyways, there is some decent stuff to be getting out of this. And otherwise, it's probably just going to be for the demon points, which otherwise, if you're not really interested in this event for the Tholin Foulbeard per Perfect Soul, it is kind of whatever. But it's another reason to actually put some time into the new dungeon. Now, the dungeon itself is quite hard, and even though I would definitely say it's worth to farm it just to have another avenue of gear, which is going to be giving you those 2 stats, accuracy and speed, because, well, let's just say getting some perception gear is quite difficult, because you need to be farming a lot of high stages of the faction wars, which, if you don't have a decent roster of champions in all factions, is not going to be that accessible. But let's just say, man, as soon as I got to stage 16, things just were not dying. The boss has that taunt effect, and let me just go ahead into it and show you real quick. My team is definitely by no means great. I mean, I would say it's just barely doing the job. I was able to farm until stage 15 decently easy, but at this point she has the taunt effect, which is just making me unable to clear the ads, right? So just to say, there's of course a lot of guides out there on YouTube where you're able to find out very good comps and stuff like that for just one-shotting the boss or cheesing it with only one champion. Let's be honest, I'm a newer player. I don't really have the tools for that. I don't have very geared up champions, so all I'm really able to do so is use my best roster in general and just try to make it work, right? So she's going to be putting up that taunt, as you can see up here, and at this point you're not able to target anybody else, right? So unless you have a debuff cleanse, which I think I kind of do. I do have a champion where I could actually go ahead and use them to actually get rid of this debuff, but then I would be conditioning my roster a little bit more. It is really hard to actually just get rid of all the ads and be able to actually focus on her and get her down without anybody else just messing it around, right? So it is rough. As soon as you got to a level where things are just not dying, and when I say things, I mean the ads in particular, everybody's getting buffed and stuff like that, you need some cleanses, man. You need a lot of stuff to make it work. The synergies between your champions and getting debuffs onto the enemies, getting cleanses going on, getting your debuffs on debuffs cleansed, there's just a lot of stuff going on, right? So even if you are only able to farm until like stage 15, somewhere between where you are able to get gear from like 4 stars all the way up to 6 stars, I do say it's worth putting your energy into. Now, it's a little bit rough right now because we do have a lot of the events that are still running, which are going to be giving you stuff for the fusion event for Tholin Foulbeard, or even if that's already done, you're going to still be able to get the demon points for the Tholin Foulbeard event where you get the perfect soul, right? So if you're doing any of those, you're probably not going to be caring too much about the Kurosa dungeon at the moment, unless, well, there is demon points in that event, right? So you're usually probably just ignoring it, but whenever these events are done and we go back to things a little bit more normal, there's going to be a new champion event, which is going to be free just for logging in, so that's also going to be a thing. And then just farming this in general is going to be a great way of course, getting decent amount of gear, and more likely you're also going to be able to farm some XP out of it if you're clearing it decently easy, which I definitely was in the lower levels, right? This one I did kill, I don't even know how, but it took me 15 minutes, so we're not going to be sitting through that. In any case, if you're able to clear, again, from like, I would say, anything from stage 13, where you're able to have a chance of 6 stars, all the way up to whatever, I don't know, stage 15 was the cutoff for me, but if you're able to go higher, of course, that's always going to be the better. If you're able to get to stage 30, then you're the cream of the crop or whatever. But yeah, anyways, farming it just for the sake of getting the gear and putting some energy into it, and ideally even able to farm some XP out of it if you're able to clear it with like 4 champions, it is definitely worth it, I would say. As a mid-tier, sort of in the mid-game, early game account, you are going to be getting gear, which is going to be very valuable. Even if you're only putting a piece here and there on somebody, you're already going to be getting the speed and the accuracy from those 2 buffs that you have from the 2 set, right? That 2 set already is better, I would say, than a perception set because of the speed and the accuracy. The amount of speed you're getting is just a lot more worth it than a 2 set of accuracy, I would definitely be saying, right? But anyways, it's really just about a matter of having access to a set which is going to be giving you those 2 stats which you really value and you should be valuing besides the perception gear, right? So, of course, I'm going to be putting some time in farming this, maybe getting some of the event done, which I still have time, so I'll be farming the hell out of this. I do have a lot of gems, so might as well do so and try and find a speed clearing build. Probably this team is not the greatest, as you can see right here. We're still being taunted and not able to kill all the ads, even though we don't really care too much about them. Anyways, not going to be really covering in depth the strategy of killing this boss. I'm sure there's other videos better out there for that, so I'm just going to be cutting it here. Definitely go farm some of the pinpoint gear, and before you go, please go ahead and check it out if you haven't done so yet. If you are a spender in Raid Shadow Legends, you're going to be wanting to hear this. If you use Aptoide to do your purchase, you're going to be able to get massive amounts of bonuses for buying anything. You're going to be able to get extra 10% of any amount of money you're spending, all the way up to extra 35% of that much money, as you can see right here. That bonus can be scaling up all the way to 35%, and the good thing about that is that when you go ahead and try to use those cashbacks that you accumulate in your wallet, and I'll talk about that in a second, you're going to be able to actually use the bonuses that you got in previous purchases to actually do the future purchases for you, right? So here I already have some bonuses in my wallet. I am able to use those bonuses to buy the thing for me without actually using my real money. So over here, for example, you can see the bonus that I currently have unlocked in my wallet accumulated over here, and also my purchase history and stuff. If you want to go ahead and use my code ZombieArc here as well, if you set it up for yourself, you're going to be able to get an extra 5% bonus from the get-go when you buy things through Aptoide in Raid Shadow Legends. And there's going to be a guide down there in the description, a link just to set it up real quick in your Android devices, like a BlueStack simulator on your PC or an Android phone. It doesn't work on iOS, unfortunately. And that's literally going to be, guys. Hopefully enjoy the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. See ya.